we are back, and we're still talking about people trying to conceive, well, women trying to conceive in their 30s. And I believe you have a little snippet.
We do have a story from Susan, and she says, not true.
Okay.
Ooh, that says it all. All my life I heard this from my family. When I started
trying to conceive
at 33, I found out I have decreased ovarian reserve.
Yes, which affects 1 in 10 women over 32.
I never heard of it. Okay, luckily I did get pregnant, and I'm almost 8 weeks. Congratulations.
Yeah,
there are so many problems you can have with fertility when you get older.
Yes.
I wish I had known. If I were younger, I wouldn't be so stressed about this pregnancy.
See, they told me right off the bat, at 35 your fertility decreases. There's no way about it. That's just the way it is.
Susan makes a point. She says, you know, it's true. You can have children at any age if you're rich and can afford fertility treatments and donor egg cycles.
It's not even affording the fertility treatments. Do you know the hell that you go through when you go through these treatments? When you prepare for IVF, you don't just go in there and they extract eggs and put them in a petri dish and you have an embryo. You have to go through a 2-week process of getting wonderful eggs ready. You have to get the follicles growing in there to a certain size that are ripe for fertility, ripe for fertilization, I should say. So there's a whole process where you're getting ultrasounds every day, blood tests every day to see where your hormones are at, and you're doing pregnancy shots in order to get to the IVF stage. So all of this is a very painful, very strenuous,
gotta be hard on you,
very gut wrenching.
Now I know that this is the pregnancy.show.com, but let me just throw out a maverick idea here, like a really, out of the paradigm.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've tried everything within reason, and you're getting older, and you haven't
pregnant,
had children.
Though.
She is, and may it continue.
Wonderful. Good.
However,
that's Susan. Yeah.
I know at some point also, maybe you won't have kids. And I know that that's going to sound terrible, and heaven knows I have them, wouldn't give any of them back most of the time.
Okay.
However, at some point, some people might just have to come to terms with the fact that they're
not going to have kids.
That doesn't mean your life is over.
Well, my brother's not married. And
my sister's not married.
Not married, and he doesn't want to get married. And my parents are devastated. They're, oh my God, no grandchildren. I says, Mom, I got 6 grandchildren, and my sister has 5. I have 6 children. My sister has 5 kids. That's 11 grandchildren. That's good enough.
That's good.
If he doesn't choose to get married, not everybody's cut out to get married and have kids.
But at some point you have to accept if it wasn't meant to be. I don't want to get into some spiritual, fluffy area, but
it has to be what you want also.
I understand, but at some point...
And if they don't want to have kids, then nobody should... Are we talking about the fact that people should have kids?
They should try, within reason, everything they can do. But how much hell do you put yourself through?
Yes.
How much hell do you put yourself through? And how long do you put yourself through
And don't feel pressure to have a family because everybody else expects you to have a family, and that's the norm. The norm is what you make of it.
I agree.
And if you want to have, like Rosie O'Donnell...
a lot today. What's happening?
She married this woman, Kelly, she's gay. Okay. And they adopted 4 beautiful kids, or 3, and they had 1 together.
Okay.
And Kelly was inseminated by donor, and they have 4. Whatever works for you. You don't have to go out and do something because it said so somewhere, and someone's telling you to do it. That's not right.
You just have
to decide what you want.
Come to peace with yourself.
Right. What's comfortable for you, what you want. And if you're right.
And it's not even what you want.
Yeah.
What fate or destiny or God, whatever you want to call it, has provided and given you on your plate.
Right.
Learn to live with yourself and have some peace of mind.
Right, but I kept going because there was such a need for me to have those kids. But some people don't have that need.
You couldn't get it.
Right, then I would have adopted. I would have adopted. We had agreed that I would have adopted. I would have been fine with that. And then I had 3 babies in 2 years. 1, 2, 3.
Pregnancies today.
So many options available. We have hundreds of thousands of kids available in the U.S.
There's a lot you can still do with your life. But there's lots you could do with your life.
Right. This shouldn't be the only reason for living.
Other children.
But this shouldn't be the only reason because if you don't have kids and you do good for the world, if you donate money or you're a philanthropist or you volunteer your services,
help children in orphanage,
or you do research
or you help handicapped children,
for some cancer treatment that's so
save
necessary.
Children.
There's so many things that people do in their life that's so good. They just shouldn't think that having kids is the only thing that's good in their life.
Trying to say.
So do what's good for you.
Don't just define yourself by that.
And nobody should dictate to you what you should do with your life.
Peace of mind.
You decide that on your own.
Peace of mind.
And whatever works for you, and go for it. We'll be right back.
Peace of mind.